It was 3 a.m. when the unmistakable sound of tires crunching on gravel and metal scraping against wood jolted me awake. The HOA cops were back, convinced that they could force their way into my lake cabin while I slept. I swung my legs out of bed, heart steady but pulse racing with anticipation. My K-9s were already awake, alert to the familiar threat. I whistled once, a sharp, precise note that carried through the property. Instantly, Titan, Max, and the rest of my squad took their positions. Titan moved to the front door, muscles coiled, eyes locked on the approaching vehicle. Max flanked him, other K-9s spread out to cover every angle. Porch, windows, and side entrances. The team was perfect, a living wall of teeth and authority. The HOA vehicle rammed the cabin door, expecting to break through, but it met Titan's position. The growls rose in unison, a terrifying, synchronized warning. The driver slammed on the brakes, the vehicle bouncing against the door, unable to proceed. The K-9s didn't move aggressively. They didn't need to. Their presence alone communicated a clear message: retreat or face consequences. Karen appeared beside the vehicle, shrieking and waving her arms. "This is HOA property. You must comply," she yelled. Her words were drowned out by the deep, threatening growls of the squad. Titan let out a single sharp bark, more warning than attack, and Karen stumbled back, her eyes wide with panic. I stepped outside calmly, hands visible, voice low but commanding. "Step back. This is my property. Any further attempt to enter will be considered a break-in. Leave now." Karen's face twisted in disbelief. "You can't. This is illegal." I shrugged. "No, this is called ownership, preparation, and trained K-9s. Something you clearly underestimated." Minutes passed, tense and silent except for the growls and occasional shifting of paws on gravel. The HOA cops tried to argue, waving papers, but the authority was entirely on my side. Titan and Max remained unwavering, eyes locked on Karen and the vehicle. Eventually, the driver backed off, muttering about misunderstandings and legalities, while Karen's shriek of frustration echoed through the property. By the time the sun began to rise, the vehicle had retreated, Karen had fled, and the cabin was untouched. My K-9s lowered their guard slightly but remained alert, ensuring no further threats approached. Titan rested his head on my knee, Max sat vigilantly at my side, and the other dogs returned to casual patrol. I poured a fresh cup of coffee and walked to the dock, watching the lake shimmer in the early morning light. The water was calm, the property secure, and the victory undeniable. Karen had tried to bully, intimidate, and force compliance, but every step of her plan had failed spectacularly. The HOA cops were powerless against the combination of legal authority, preparation, and my K-9 squad. Later, neighbors trickled in, whispering their admiration. "She really thought she could just smash your cabin in the middle of the night?" one asked. I smiled, patting Titan's head. "She didn't understand the stakes," I replied. "Never underestimate someone who owns the property and their dogs." As the morning sun rose higher, casting golden reflections across the lake, I felt a sense of satisfaction. The cabin was intact, the property secure, and Karen's authority utterly destroyed. She had learned, again, that trying to intimidate someone prepared for everything, backed by trained K-9s and the law, was a mistake she would not soon forget.